What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are doing a Regionals VOD review, another one, and this is actually a quite interesting one. So, we are VOD reviewing Millennium Fox. Millennium was a Tier 1 player and actually did end up getting relegated over the weekend, so unfortunate. However, this was a really cool game. This was a game that I think one, we played an interesting line, a line that a lot of people are not very hyped up on. And two, we made some really interesting augment decisions that we gotta talk about. So we start off here, we're in the duplicator portal, have Cho pair, Rek'Sai pair is really nice, have this Leona pair as well. Saw that someone had a Veigar 2 already, so they're likely going to be going down that Veigar printer path. And I mean, in all likelihood, we have this Rek'Sai pair, we have this Briar pair. I mean, we have a pretty reasonable path towards just playing that opener and having a good spot from it. So I think that's what a lot of people would be looking at in this spot here, and that is what we do end up picking up here in our shops here. First augment here. Well, you see, we immediately rush towards spreading roots. This is a great pickup here. I mean, one, Heart of Steel, I mean, it doesn't seem horrible here, but I don't love it. Blood Offering as well. And also, I mean, this augment's just very solid in general here, especially in a spot where we can actually use the direction here. So we crack this open, and we get Sniper Arbiter in this spot here, which is okay. Like what should our game plan be from here? And so we are going to then field our Ezreal in this spot here. Going to throw Arbiter down, looking for some kind of I imagine like tank one in this spot here. So he's looking at, oh, he actually is looking at the AP one thing, and maybe we do just play this into an Arbiter game, but then yeah, does get rid of this and is just going to field this board, the 2 sniper 2 brawler board with the Ez onto the board right now. And so I mean, because we do get a sniper emblem, and because the items are pretty reasonable for it, and because we're in a duplicator portal, I do think the idea starts to become, and especially after this shop, very reasonable that we do play actually an Ezreal Cho reroll game. Now, this is a reroll comp that has become very out of favor back, you know, mid-ish set. I feel like this comp never really got the praise that a lot of the other one-cost reroll lines got. You know, even during the super reroll meta, you wouldn't even play this line that often. List Cho really, I feel like, has stolen the spotlight most of the time. This Ezreal unit, I mean, he's really cool, but just not something that you can play for that frequently. But we have a great opener into it. We pick up the 5 Ezreals. We already have this, you know, duplicator, so that's basically 6 Ezreals if we really want it. So it could actually be an Ezreal reroll game, and we do actually team platter out a Ezreal reroll idea here. And of course, you know, the sniper spat, it makes sense. You could obviously play this into a Xayah game, but our items don't really suit it very well. We don't have any bows yet. And so the IE also a great slam onto the Ezreal already. So this is our game plan, is that we're going to play Ezreal reroll from this spot, which is, it's already quite interesting. But we go into augment or into God here. We are just going to take the gold here because the more gold that we can have on our roll down, the better. Imagine almost that you have to take chain here to start going towards Chosif Gath items here. You could even look at just a Crown Guard Slam. It's not the best item on Cho at the end of the day, but it does get rid of the rod, because if you don't do this, I'm not actually sure how you are killing this rod eventually, but we'll see. What we do want to go for in this spot here can make 30 gold with the extra gold that we got, and yeah, we are definitely looking at potentially a Crown Guard. We're hovering it, so we will see here. Scatter around the rest of the lobby. Uncontested Ezreal reroll, as you know, is pretty likely here. I don't think anyone's gonna stop us from playing this line, so we are gonna be able to take this pretty much for free here. The Cho doesn't get a bite off there, sadly, but it's okay. Millennium Fox also clearly, I think, a little. I mean, I don't know that he, you know, set out this game before the game started and was like, oh boy, I can't wait to play Ezreal reroll. I don't think anybody is really thinking that in TFT, but especially as we get further and further into the set, you know, we're basically at the end of the set now. The meta is relatively balanced. It makes sense to be able to, you know, play a line like this if you actually have a reasonable spot for it. Do rotate into a 3-item pike, which is always horrifying. I will say our positioning is actually really nice versus it, and we actually deny the pike ult. And wow, wait, this is a huge fight. We actually beat Crazy Cat here and win the fight. Beautiful positioning from Millennium Fox here. Allows us to swing the fight and actually keep our streak, because it was very likely that we are going to drop our win streak there. So actually really beautiful round from him that puts him into a pretty good spot. spot here. Obviously, we're holding on to this Lissandra here, not to play Lissandra reroll or anything like that, but because she's a good unit that fits on this board. We do pick up Guardbreaker here, which is interesting. I think we are going to hold on to these components for potentially better Cho items, but yeah, we'll see down the line. Going to roll down here, want to pick up some copies of our units the second the Pantheon is bought or is found. We just pick it up here. We are going to roll a little bit more to find the rest of the Ez's and then just stop on 40 gold here with being able to sell everything else. The Pantheon too, really, really nice here. And yeah, is just even going to say, I'm going to slam belt and glove here. I'm never in a million years going to make Guardbreaker here because I need the belt for a frontline item and I need this glove, you know, very likely for a backline item here for the Ezreal here. So we're going to hold on to this. Sad that we don't win that fight, but not the end of the world. All right, next Augment here. Slammin', Cosmic Restart, Feed the Flames, all pretty awful options in this spot here. The Omnivamp doesn't really do anything. At least this gives you heal cut, but obviously you don't want a Cosmic. I mean, both of these are essentially untakeable here. So, of course, this is a roll. We had Invader Zed, Misfits, and we go, oh God, okay, well, we don't really even want to take this, so we might as well flip it. And then we get Kahuna Huna. So, what do you do in this spot here? What can you possibly take that makes any sense in this spot here? I mean, you know, Misfits, you're not gonna be able to fit onto your board for a very, very long time. Kunahuna doesn't do much here. I mean, we could have taken that Sunfire back then, you know, maybe he's hoping that he had that option open, but he did roll it. And so now what do we do here? So we think about this decision for a while, and we end up falling on Invader Zed here. Now, why Invader Zed from this spot? Because we don't have any of the actual pieces for Invader Zed here. We don't have the Adaptive Helm. We don't have Edge of Night. We don't have any of the, you know, components that could even build into those items. So how are we going to play around Invader Zed? Well, the answer is we're not really going to. What we're going to do is we're going to take this Augment. It gives a Shojin, and so we're just going to say, our gold augment is a Shojin, and like maybe the Zed augment with Sniper Spat can do like a little bit of work down the line. But that's really it. I mean, Sniper Spat in many ways is actually pretty good onto a unit like Zed. If you've seen like the Rapid Fire Cannon Zed setups, it's like a worse version than that, obviously, because, you know, you don't get the extra range, but you get, you know, or you do get the extra range, but you don't get all this extra attack speed to work with. But still, extra range is never bad on this Zed. But the biggest thing that this augment does here is it gives us a Shojin, which is one of Ezreal's best items. It's going to allow him to start casting and just popping off. And so in many ways, taking a gold augment that just gives you a Shojin is actually quite acceptable in a spot like this. So it's pretty wild. The 2/5 cost must be the take here, just because, I mean, there's good outs. Jhin is obviously the biggest one. Can even, I believe, hit Zed off of it as well. Interestingly, we're going to take Cloak here with the idea, I guess, that this is going to go into a Cho item down the line. I mean, maybe we're just going to make Evan's Shroud here. It's a little sketch because we have this glove open that, you know, I think wants to be Last Whisper here. But yep, we do want to roll down here. We'd love to find the Ez3 here on this round so that we, you know, can potentially hold on to these duplicators and use these onto Cho. And it is what's going to happen here. We do get one off Cho, so we opt to roll a 40 here and then stop, saying, you know, we do want to hit as quickly as possible because every fight that we can win the stage is hugely impactful, especially because we are as Cho. This is the most scaling comp in the entire game. Every fight you win, you're getting Ez stacks and Cho stacks. And so once again, every single fight that you can win is super, super impactful. So it's what we're hoping for. We are one Cho off, so we're going to roll to 40 and even down potentially to 30 gold here. And now we can make this double dupe here, get the Cho onto the board, and slam triple item onto him. So pretty good. And even the Arbiter spat, not for Arbiter, obviously, because it doesn't do anything here, but just for stats onto the Cho. So we did it. We reached our 3-item Cho. It's a little bit weird, and, you know, we reach 3-star Cho and 3-star Ez, and also the Sniper Spat is almost counterproductive here in that it makes Cho sit here, so we reduce sniper value from Ez, but still keeps the Cho kind of safe, allows him to get some stacks off, and we do actually win the fight, which is hugely consequential, 1 for our econ and 2 for our ability to keep streak here. So really, really nice. Gonna level up, get 3 Brawler in on this board. 3 Timebreaker's actually been a really nice econ trade for us. Has already, you know, printed us 4 gold worth of EXP over just a few rounds. 375 HP onto the Cho, by the way, is quite depressing, but it's just, you know, the Cho really took a while to get going. He can just lesser dupe here, which is not the worst here. Imagine this is going to be the Last Whisper that's going to come down here, and Gargoyle statistically is not the best item on Cho, but it's an okay item. He does have this Reforger here, so we can Reforge Arbiter here. And if there is something high roll that happens this game, you know, it is that we hit this. And so he's going to make Gargoyle here. Really wants to build something out of the belt here so that he can get another item slam in this spot. But it doesn't really line up. I guess he could make a Sunfire if he has to and then build another Cho item later. He is just going to opt to take the Rod here for, you know, maybe some other kind of heal cut like a Morello or something and give up on the, you know, the Sunfire potential. Could even slam Morello onto Cho here. Last Augment. Charge Transfer is actually decent in this comp, but we do not get exactly what we want here. We're gonna have to take Booster Pack to try to find better stuff here and also to try to push level here, because that's what you want to do in this spot, is reach a higher level. Really was hoping that we would print either a Zed or a Jhin. A lot of stuff that you can hit here, but for now, this can just be our board here. Is the 4 Timebreaker, 4 Brawler board. And you can see, like we talked about, the Zed's not even on the board. This Augment was not picked for the Zed. It was picked for a gold Augment that just gives a Shojin, which is honestly pretty, you know, acceptable when you get a tailored exact item that you want here, because Shojin's exactly what we needed there. And so the Zed can sit on the bench for now. He can come in on level 8 perhaps, but I mean, we don't really want to lose out on these good traits on this board here. Dark Star and Replicator, both pretty valuable onto the board here. We are finally going to level for the Zed here, who will probably be our tertiary carry, or just kind of like duo carry on this board. And like I said, the extra range is pretty nice because it does allow him to, you know, print extra copies from safety. And even, you know, if Cho can tank for a really long time, then you can get a million Zeds and you don't run into the issue where Zeds all kind of like clump up and stop the other Zeds from auto attacking. But you can see we're actually streaking at this point. We're pretty strong. He's thinking about the Anvil, but does opt to just take Ahri Gold because we do really want to make it to 9. Ahri is also going to be pretty good here. Really looking for something to slam onto the Cho here and just does not find it. So we're going to have to start taking maybe Zed item Bow, with the idea of it being like attack speed for him is, I guess, the idea here. I mean, you could even just make a Gwynsu slam here onto the Zed. It's a little crazy, but he's got the extra range. It's never great to make a Gwynsu's onto the Zed just because of the nature of how this unit works, of how you know, he's making copies of himself, but he is going to make it. Yeah, okay, we'll just go for it and grab the Gwynsu's Rage Blade onto him, because yeah, as you see, when the copy spawns, the copy does not get the Gwynsu stacks that already exist there. If it did, this item would actually be kind of crazy on this guy probably, but no, it does not work in the way that you would want. But it's okay, it's an item onto him, it's attack speed onto him, and also you can see he's a little maybe frustrated. He's like, why is this Zed even on my board? Like, what is this guy doing? And honestly, he's not doing anything, but it's fine. He's a cool guy. He's got a sniper emblem onto him, which is pretty cool. Main thing we need to do at this point is find our last Cho item and then reach 9, find the Jhin, and then really start to cap our board. But yeah, gonna rotate into a Veigar board. You can see the Ez is actually, in terms of capped, pretty strong here, doing a lot of damage. The Zed is an okay duo carry, and level 9 is approaching actually pretty quickly here. It's kind of wild, but yeah, we're on the way here. Low key, you could think about that, but opts not into it. This is Warmogs plus 10 gold here. I think you could think about that. He's really looking for very specific items here, it seems, and is going to eventually take this, which I guess is Warmog Steadfast? Huh, unless he wants to make Sunfire, but Sunfire seems really odd here. So yeah, he is going to take the Warmogs here, move the Timebreaker spat down to the Ez for even more attack speed, and then just Steadfast onto the Maokai. Yeah, I like this a lot here, and we can probably chill 2 rounds on 49 HP, dream as we win 1, but then that's going to kind of mess up our EXP. But I mean, hey, I wouldn't complain if I won one of these fights. Rotating to Cottontail here, who has this this conduit board, kind of crazy conduit board set up with this this concentration augment, which I feel like was taking a lot this weekend and didn't perform super well. We take a decent enough loss, which is a lot of rerolls here. We do actually natural the Jhin, which is, wow, fantastic. Means, yep, we can drop out the Lissandra here, just get the Jhin on this board, and now our level 9 is looking like, I mean, we can roll for actually like 2 stars and just extra good units to put on this board. It's crazy because with all these extra spats that we've spawned in, you know, normally you're thinking about, how can I fit 4 Timebreaker? How can I fit, you know, 4 Brawler, Sniper, all this kind of stuff. But with all these spats, the board actually fits really easily here. We do get a little bit farmed by the Shmeepsy here, which is not ideal, but pretty tough matchup when Meepsy is same side as our Ez. So we do take another loss here, which puts us into a very rich spot, but not a spot great HP wise. So we're going to roll down here, do pick up the Shen here for now, and yep, going to get the TK in as just the superior brawler onto this board. Does find random Shen 2 here. So yeah, we're going to fit Shen on this board. And wait a second, Is this the Shen of Legends? Snipers, Gwinsu's Timebreaker Shen, and just look at this guy go to town. Boom, 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 boom. He actually does 3k damage, pretty decent damage. This guy actually, after buff after buff after buff after buff, is not the most unreasonable carry. I'm not going to say that this guy's broken by any means, but he's actually not horrible. I will say at this point, I think the Zed can probably just come off of our board. We do find Deathblade here for the Ezreal, which is fantastic. One of his best items means we just get to move the LW. And yeah, he does realize, like, yeah, what is the point of Zed being on this board? Might as well get Sonal on this board. She can give me a solid mod here, and that is the plan here. So the Shen popping off here, the Cho'Gath actually quite tanky here, and we start actually really winning some fights. We beat GG9, Gooning Gragas 9, our newest tier 1 player, and Lock-in already a top 5 here. He's realizing, yeah, that the Sona's not really going to do all that much, so we might as well just fit Bastion in onto this board with the Rammus here. Great stats onto our very heavy Brawler board. Getting quick swaps around here, trying to be, I guess, same side as Samira feels good to potentially deny some sniper value, though we also get some of our sniper value denied here. And yeah, this is the setup for now. And look at this, a very, very strong Samira board kind of gets cleared by us, and we also still have the vertical Timebreaker in, so we don't actually feel bad about the fact that we need to push 10. I mean, we're slowly pushing 10 every single round with the extra gold that we pick up there from Timebreaker and from Ahri. Both of them are actually accelerating us to 10, and the level 10 is also going to give us even more stats to play around the AD and AP from Ahri. So a crazy spot, top 4 locked in here. And honestly, as you see this board, fight after fight, it does really feel like sky's the limit. It feels like we actually have good odds of doing very, very well this game. We do get the guard breaker here, which is going to come down onto the Ez. It means that we have to move the DB over, which is a pretty tragic thing because DB's so good onto the Ez, but at least we have the AD from Ahri, so it's a little bit extra to work with, so maybe we can, say that this makes sense, but I mean, got to keep the crit items together, so it makes sense here. Rotate into a pretty dang strong Fiora board with Fiora board. I mean, it did have Fiora onto it. It was Misfortune. Wait, actually, what was that board that we just lost to now that I think about it? Misfortune Fiora. That's an interesting setup out of them. I kind of want to see this. Yeah, okay. Wow, so it's just a normal Yi board that somehow hit MF3. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, cool. We do end up losing to it. So we're at 8 HP here. Upside is we do have a lot of scaling here. We are going to roll down, really just trying to look to fill out that last slot on this board, because right now it's just a Rammus one. It's not crazy, crazy good. And that's what we're going to do our best in this spot. Rotate into Shoma here. Our front line's kind of on the wrong side, but their front line's also in an awkward spot, so both boards actually get pretty good sniper value. Our Cho, at least, is not getting punched by the Blitzcrank here. We clear through this board, and we do pick up the fight win against Shoma, which locks in at least a top 3, actually a top 2, because Black Sheep goes down here, and level 10 is here, so now we can get 4 Snipered, which is actually a big increase in damage, and we can also pick up the TK2. So this is the player that we lost to last time, Juki. Let's see if we can beat them. Really wants to get his carries away from the enemy melees as much as we can, so that we can try to get great sniper value. It is a little bit scary the way that they split the front line, but we do actually have enough damage here that we can pick this fight up. Juki drops here, and we're playing for top 2, baby. Take the completed item anvil here, crack open it. We get the Deathblade here, so double DB Jhin, not bad here. Roll down to see if we can hit, like, a Rammus 2 would be the only spike we can find. Does not find it here, so we're just going to try to have to swap around here. Actually just leaves everything here. I don't actually hate this, just because the Cho main taking all the melee carries is not a bad idea, and also once we shoot through this front line, we can actually aggro into the melees. A little scary there, but Ez does enough damage, Jhin does enough damage, Shen does enough damage, and it is a first in this game on Ezreal Reroll with the Zed Augment with no Zed on our board. I just thought this is a really creative idea, just grabbing the Zed Augment, not even for Zed, but just for Shojin. I have not seen anybody do this in the entire set. Take the Zed Augment and then don't play Zed. But I thought it was a really, really creative idea, especially in a spot where, it looked quite doomed from Augments, and also on a line that most people just do not play, this Ezreal Reroll. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch Metafy, all my links down below. Last thing I will say is that they did announce today the casters and just broadcast talent for week 2 of regionals. I will be on week 2 of regionals one of the days. I think it's Friday. I believe I'm going to be on Friday. So come check me out on the regionals broadcast again on a Friday. It was an absolute blast last week, and I can't wait for this week, which is going to be even more crazy. We're going to send some people to Worlds. It's going to be nuts. So I will see you guys there. Thanks for watching as always. Bye-bye.